Alright, so it's been a while since we've done a chuck roll, and I also wanted to showcase my beautiful 4-foot cutting board that I purchased on Amazon. You can get them any size you want. I decided to go the 4-foot, so I think I got plenty of room now. Got my knives all sharpened and ready. This thing's huge. But I wanted to show that this chuck roll prices have seemed to come down. Now this one is a little light, $6.98 a pound, 17.38 pounds for $121. The rest have been around 18, 19 pounds, and they were, you know, 140 to 160. So this is a really good deal right now. They even have, I think it was $5.98. They have prime brisket at Sam's Club as well. So it looks like they went a little crazy with the cryovac wrap, but I just wanted to show. I always like to show the sticker, and we're gonna break this one down. Each one's different, so I thought, well, I may or may not share this video, but without further ado, let's get her done. Well, I'm filming this one today by myself, but here it is. One thing I recommend is make sure you got your paper towels ready. Keep a roll with you because blood goes everywhere when you open the cryovac. You can open it over your sink, but this right now is my staging area, so this is what I use and where I do this. Anyhow, I try to get around, but I'm pretty immobile. Getting old, and I got things going on, so I just got to make sure that I can work with what I got. So I'm sitting down to do all these videos for you, and to handle all that without the sink nearby makes a mess. So you want to just go over and you want to pat all this dry just to get all out the excess blood. It helps. You don't have to, but this one was extra bloody. I never showed that before, but you can see the difference already between the two sides. And I already wiped up a lot of the blood on here, but sometimes it can be a lot. So just a little food for thought. Okay, so like in my other videos, as far as inspection goes, on these chuck rolls, once you get better at it, you can go a little quicker. So this isn't going to be a full breakdown like my other ones. It'll be a lot shorter. But you want to just look around, find all those seam lines. That's what I wanted to focus on today. And of course the other tips I already gave you. So you can see there's one there. Simply put, follow the fat lines, okay, and the silver skin. That's where you're going to separate this if you want to separate this. A lot of people just square it up and they'll just cut all this into steaks. So today I'm going to just take this apart. I'll show you the pieces I got. But you can see there's one right there. And we'll go around the whole thing as we go. And I'll show you the pieces I come up with from here. So that first piece I showed you pulling up, this is it. Now you can see in here there's another line. And we can dismember that too. That came off the larger piece right there. And as you can see, the silver skin and some of the fat over here. That's what you're looking for. Most of that pulls apart with your hands. You won't want to work too hard. Just have your good butcher. Like I use a fillet knife. You watch my other videos for better breakdowns. Like again though, this is just showing you the different pieces we get out of this one. Now this is one of those instances where there's not a lot of separation here, and what you can do is take out this nicer grain meat and separate it from this bigger piece. You can see a line here. So there's not as much fat and silver skin to follow. So you can just slice that up, but I'll definitely render this fat, but I'm going to take this off. It's just pure fat. It's good for nothing. The gristle and the thick fat, it's good for rendering. That's it. Okay, now this is just following instinct. So you can see when I did so, I found some hard fat in here. And I just started making a line, like a little trench line with my fillet knife. And I'm just going down, and I'm going to just cut this piece right here totally out. So then this is the last of the big piece. So as you can see, this is the piece I just cut off of the big piece. So now we got two of them. And I got the other piece set to the side still. And again, I just picked it up because I'm going to square this off for steaks. And I'll clean this up too and look at the grain in there, how it's straight, striations. That's going to be the really tender meat in there, so we want to separate that out. So we'll square up this other piece and cut steaks. Okay, for the steaks, we're going to cut, that's that fat. We're going to cut the line right here, and those will be our good steaks there, and we'll probably have some petite ones here. So that fat will come off after. So we'll cut that. So there you go. The big steaks are going to be on the right, smaller ones on the left, and we still got to take that fat big piece. Okay, so this is the big piece that's left. I trimmed it up, and then this is the side I flipped over. What we're going to do is clean up all this little stuff, this meat and stuff, and the silver skin, and then we'll slice steaks. Okay, I already cut the end off and cleaned it up, so we're going to cut. So out of that, I got like 3 1-inch and 3, I'd say 1/2 inch, and then maybe 4 maybe a little thinner. So that's 7 total. So these are going to be our petites. This is from that bigger piece. And the steaks I just cut. You can see that nice grain. Okay, from that I got 6 steaks. And these are going to be nice and tender when they're all done and cooked. Some of that hard fat won't render out, but if you're good, you can get it done. So this is the second large piece we cut off, the big whole thing. And you can see upon inspection we have another pull line. So we're going to pull this apart. I like to try to keep this together because this is that really good grain and super tender, excuse me. But we'll separate it out, this piece anyway, because there's a lot of hard fat in there too. So now, as you see, we ended up with 2 pieces. This is the one that was separated on the line. This is a nice tenderloin, so I'll probably keep it as that and clean it up a little bit. And then this looks like America there. This could be Mexico down below if you put it down there. Right? I mean, look at it. Go the other way with the tail. I don't know. Or a scorpion, who knows, whatever. So we'll clean this up and we'll figure this piece out. Now all trimmed up, look at that bad boy. This thing is nice. It's a beautiful, got beautiful grain. A little bit of silver skin on left, but that's fine. But this is a nice tenderloin. We're going to leave this whole. Look at that grain. So on this smaller piece, I said looked like America. I've been trimming it up, but I want to show you something. We're just going to follow this line and make this into 2 steaks. So out of that, this is what we ended up with. There ended up being a ton of hard fat on this one. And when I say hard fat, this is what I'm talking about. This is a piece off of it. And there's down the whole side. So this one ended up a lot smaller, but we got 2 nice pieces of meat with nice grain, and it'll be very tender. You could also cut those into petite steaks. You know, like I said in my other videos, guys, just, there's no wrong. Just make what you want. Now I saved this. This is the trimmings that'll be for the nice tender stir fries versus the harder meat, which I trimmed earlier. So there's going to be 2 different piles. This is the first piece we cut, so we're finally back to that. And you can see there's a line here too, so we'll pull that off, and then I'll trim it all up. Okay, so this is the last piece in the 2 pieces. You can see we got a good separated line there. We'll cut out 2. And you can see the grain's a bit different. It goes different directions. Doesn't mean it's bad. You know, this is a cheap cut of meat, but you can really make it tender with everything, the way you treat it and cook it. So I ended up with 2 steaks out of that. It ended up being 4 sections, but it broke down to fat and also to the ground meat or chuck meat, whatever you want to call it. So we'll keep these 2 steaks. Some of it has some good striation and grain in it as well as I got deeper into it. But yeah, 4 pieces separated out. 2 became steaks. The rest was just 2 mixed. So it's good for other things. So this side you can see has really heavy fat on it still, so we'll trim all that off. But then look at this other side. This is the first piece, the last cut of it. This is really nice. So I think what I'm going to do is trim this up, and we'll make some petite steaks out of this last piece. Okay, so this is all trimmed up. You can see how nice and square it looks. Trim the fat, that's the fat side. And we're going to leave a little bit of that silver skin on. That side here I just pushed in. Make it look square. I can trim that a little bit too, but whatever. We're going to cut some petite steaks out of this. Alright, so these are our petite steaks. I got 10 out of them. Technically, you could say these are more strips right here. But this could have stayed as 1, but I just want to keep the same cutting on the same grain. So that's these. So we got 10 of these. Okay, so all said and done, we got our fat. That's our general beef cuts. This is our high quality cuts or stir fry. So then I have my basically chuck steaks right there. There's 7 of those. And then like mini chucks, whatever you want to call them, the lower grade meat. I got 6 of those. And then I usually call these flat irons. So if you want to say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 flat irons. And so those are the high quality ones here with the nice grain. On the right, 3 of those, 1 large, 1, 2 smallers. And then the grain that's not so great but still good, 2 of those. And then 10 of the, I'll call these ones the Denver steaks, the lower end grain meat. So all together, you can see how big this cutting board is and what I got on here. It's quite a bit. So we'll weigh it out and I'll tell you that. Okay, so these are the last steaks I did. So we got 2 pounds 4 ounces of the 10 little petite Denver steaks. So my made-up name, Petite Chucks. This is 6 of them. They came out to 1 pound 7 ounces, almost. Well, let's call it 1.8 ounces. So that's 6 of them. Petite Chucks. Okay, these are 7. These are chuck eye steaks, to be clear. 4 pounds 2 ounces. Okay. Since these are technically all the same grain, we went ahead and did the tenderloins, or the flat irons, just all in one together. So I just laid it over each other. It's 2 pounds, we'll call it 6 ounces, round up. So 2 pounds 6 ounces of the good tenderloin, good grain. So our true flat irons, different grain, they're 13 ounces. So that's 16 ounces is a pound. So just under a pound for both of those. Okay, so 1 pound, 8 ounces of the good stir fry meat, the good grain. All right, so 2 pounds, 14 ounces. So almost 3 pounds of meat for, ends and pieces for grinding up, making ground beef or whatever you want to use it for, stew meat, whatever, you choose. All right, so 1 pound, 13 ounces for the fat. And you're going to say, oh, there's meat in there too. Yeah, of course there is. I mean, there's going to be. Some of it goes right through the fat. So we'll use that for rendering and or making sausages, whatever you want. You make it up in your head and do it. So we just round up 1 pound, 13 ounces of fat. And I'll show it all processed and that'll be it. All right, so all bagged up and vacuum sealed. Here's what we got. Boom, 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 all done. So finished weight on all these in the bags was 16.75 without going through the video and adding up just the meat itself like we already did. So that's the total. It was 17.38. So the bag weight plus each one of these bags, 12 total, weighs about an ounce. So it's kind of nil, sometimes less. There you have it. Watch my other videos if you want to see knife sharpening, cutting procedures, and the whole breakdown of the chuck roll. But that's this one here. Have a good time. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye. Oh, one more thing. I forgot I separated this meat out for a customer I'm cooking for tomorrow. So add that to it. It was 16.87 pounds overall weight for the meat. The 10.2 was separated out. Anyway, have a good time. Hope you enjoyed this video. Take care.